On October 25th, Cal Poly Humboldt sent out a mass email to the student body about a parking regulation for unhoused students parked on campus. In the email, they stated, quote, "There have been an increasing number of RVs and other vehicles parked long-term in the university lots around campus. These vehicles are in permit-only parking spots and have been parked in spaces overnight in violation of university policy," and continue to say, "Due primarily to these concerns, the university has begun notifying those living in the vehicles that university policy will soon be enforced without exception." In response to this email, a petition to stop this eviction was set up with over 2,000 signatures at this moment.
I think it's really unfortunate because, whether they live in their vehicle by choice, because some people are into van life and stuff like that, or if they're doing it financially because rent is so high and then housing on campus is ridiculously high, it's they should be able to at least park on campus. They weren't disrupting anyone.
There's no other choice for some people but to live in your cars or your vans. And it seems off that if the school has this many empty beds, then why are they evicting people?
There's plenty of parking to go around, so why would we limit those?
Difficult housing is to get here. There are open spots, but they're just not giving them. So students have just chosen to take control of their situation, and then they're shutting that down too.
The Cal Poly email also states, quote, "Policy aside, overnight camping in university parking lots creates unsanitary and unsafe conditions for both those encamped and for our campus community at large. But some students see things differently."
Well, I haven't seen really any unsafe and unsanitary conditions because I've gone over to my friend's place by the big parking lot where all the vans are, and I barely notice them.
I have a friend who lives in her RV, and what she said is that they're the opposite of that. They make an effort to pick up trash and all of that stuff.
I think that was just some rhetoric thrown in there to try to make us support their decision.
Caleb Chen, a graduate student currently living in his van on campus, says that the campus parking lots have been the safest that he's felt living in his van, and was in shock when he saw the email.
I was with a peer who saw it and then looked at me, knew I was living in a van, and he was like, "The gig is up, Caleb." I have a permit, and all of the students that I'm aware of, they have permits. That email was very ambiguous, and it had a lot of insinuations, honestly, seemed a little bit slanderous. About sanitary conditions and stuff like that. During the weekends, right, they don't do any parking enforcement, so there are other alternative living people who aren't students who sometimes come just during the weekends. I think there's definitely a chance that the parking administration has been, confounding the two.
The university has offered temporary housing, suggestions to parking spaces off campus, and help to look for off-campus housing in an already stressful housing market.
They're living in a vehicle for a reason. So I don't know, giving them a parking lot that's actually safe. A lot of the RV parking lots and stuff, it can not be the safest.
We live in freshman dorms, and so many people have open spaces in their rooms, and they just refuse to give them out.
They should realistically make a solution for students who are already paying to be here for tuition and a parking permit. And we were told by the parking administration earlier this semester that sleeping in the vans in the parking lot would be okay.
Reporting at Cal Poly Humboldt, Skylar Gavin, Redwood News.